So let's imagine we take a box. It's an excellent box. Nothing can come in, nothing can go out. So we put an apple in the box, close the box. Billions and billions of years later, neutrons will decay into protons and other fundamental particles. So if there's 10 to the 24 particles in an apple, there's something like 10 to the 24 different states that those particles can be in. That's a gigantic number. But it isn't infinite. And what that means is that if you let the box sit there for an infinite amount of time, it will use them all up. It will go through every possible state that it can. And eventually it will start having to reuse states that it's been in before, because there just aren't any more that it can evolve into. And so eventually, if you wait a long time, something will happen. And this is the power that infinity has over the finite. But at some point, you could open the box, and there's your apple again. How did that happen? How did this hot gas turn into an apple? But eventually it has to. In fact, every possible thing that could exist in the box will exist. And they will each exist an infinite number of times. Why do we care? Well, we might be in the box.
In any finite region of space, like the observable universe that we now inhabit, there's a finite amount of energy, which is carried by a finite number of particles, and those finite number of particles can only be arranged in finitely many distinct patterns. Because there are only finitely many distinct ways that the particles can be arranged, if space does go on infinitely far, the particle pattern has to ultimately repeat.
Some have been wondering if it might reveal the body of Alexander the Great or unleash a deadly curse.